He's speaking with Mike and the media.
LeBron, first of all, I know you don't love to talk about it, but just the foot, was that the same kind of thing that's been giving you soreness? You were able to get up and play through it, but I'm just wondering how that was.
I mean, I don't know if I stepped on Lori's foot or not. It was just a turn in the ankle, but I'll be fine. I'll be ready for Sunday afternoon, and we move forward. But happy birthday, by the way. 21?
Oh.
I didn't bring the Lobos with me tonight. I apologize. I haven't drank all week, so next time we have one, we take a shot.
Appreciate it. Deal. It's probably the first game that you guys haven't had that kind of early defensive energy. When you notice that that's happening, is it difficult to change that within the context of one night?
It is. I mean, especially when you hang your hats on the defensive end. I mean, there's going to be some. We don't never want it to happen, but there's some games throughout the course of 82 season game where you. Obviously, you just don't have it defensively, and we didn't have it, for 48 minutes. We had it in spurts, but we know in order for us to win, we got to defend. And tonight I think we had a 50, 40, 90 offensive night, and we still lost. So that's why I was talking earlier in the season about it's not about the offense. We have to defend, and obviously we got to make shots, but if we defend, we're going to give ourselves a better chance to win. And tonight, even though when we cut the lead down to 2, we made that good push. We was always playing uphill, But give credit to Utah. That was a very well orchestrated team. They got a lot of very just solid, good, cerebral IQ basketball players on the floor, and they got a lot of them.
LeBron, Darvin was talking about this team beforehand, sort of comparing it to sort of in makeup his Atlanta teams that didn't really have like one leading guy. Is it hard for the defense to kind of key in on what you have to do when there is, not a headliner, so to speak, or a head of the snake?
No, I think if you go into the game thinking that way, then you will definitely get burned. We know what they're capable of doing. We know Mike Conley can catch fire. Obviously, we know JC has been a burner since he came into this league. Laurie has been playing great basketball this year. Played great basketball in Chicago and in Cleveland as well. Kelly O can play good basketball. Had a game winner in New Orleans earlier in the season. Colin was on the verge of being an all-star in the Eastern Conference at one point before the injury, and so on and so on. They just keep bringing in more and more talent. So you respect guys that no matter who's out on the floor, no matter what their resume speaks for itself. But when you're an NBA player, you gotta be ready for everything. And tonight they gave us everything, and they made some. They was knocking down shots. They was moving the ball, sharing the ball. They was playing with speed, playing with pace. Kind of was on our heels throughout the 48-minute game.
Dan.
LeBron, sort of. This relates to what I'm going to ask you. Virally, I guess, how are you feeling right now? I know you said I think you've basically been in bed since Sunday. Have you been able to turn any corners on that front?
Felt a little bit better today than I did on Wednesday. And hopefully, if I continue to improve over the last 48 hours, going forward, or probably less than that, obviously, because it was 12:30 start on Sunday. But if I can improve over the next 36 hours, then I feel a lot much better too. I feel like my color is coming back. I feel more like pale and just not have much energy at all. Not quite to 100%, but definitely almost there.
You feel? I'm sure that shows up in a lot of different ways on the court. I think you've missed your last 13 threes, last 2 games. Are you feeling it in your legs?
Yeah, I think from the moment that I just haven't had my rhythm. I lost my rhythm, when I kind of hate this bug. Not only the threes, a couple of the layups has been short around the rim. Just feel like my rhythm just been off. I haven't had an opportunity to, get on the practice floor because I've been kind of not only told to stay away, but advised to stay away to kind of save my energy for the games. But I'm looking forward to getting back into our practice facility so I can get my shots that I'm of course used to doing in between games.
LeBron, we haven't heard much from players around the league this week about Kyrie Irving's social media posts and subsequent comments. I was just curious, why do you think that is, considering this league is so socially conscious?
I'm not sure. If you want to ask me a question, you can ask me. I can't speak for 449 players.
Sure. Certainly your position, you've been in the position of the best to speak for, for the league.
I can tell you this. It's simple. Me personally, I don't condone any hate to any kind, to any race, to Jewish communities, to black communities, to Asian communities. You guys know where I stand, and it's part of the reason why I didn't air the Shop episode, why we kicked that, out of the archives, because it was hate conversation going on there, and I don't represent that. There's no place in this world for it. Nobody can benefit from that, and I believe what Kyrie did caused some harm to a lot of people, and he has since over the last, I think today or was it yesterday, he apologized, but he caused some harm, and I think it's unfortunate, but I don't stand on the position to harm people when it comes to your voice or your platform or anything. And so it doesn't matter what color your skin is, how tall you are, what position you are in. If you are promoting or soliciting or saying harmful things to any community that harm people, then I don't respect it. I don't condone it.
Considering you do identify that his actions as being harmful to people, what do you believe could be a resolution for him to get past the current suspensions that he has with the Nets and Nike?
I don't know. Because at the end of the day, Kyrie is his own man. He stands up in front of the media and speaks. He is a man. He has a great family. I mean, I love the kid. Well, he's not even a kid anymore. He's 30. He just said that the other day in his presser. I was like, it's insane. I don't know the direction, the steps that he take, but he's apologized for what he said. And I hope that he understands that what he said was harmful to a lot of people. And we as humans, none of us are perfect, but I hope he understands how, what he did or the actions that he took was just harmful to a lot of people. I really didn't get into it too much, but I understand that when you hurting anybody, I understand that. That is just common sense.
Last two,
LeBron, sticking with the theme of social consciousness, you've been very vocal about civic engagement, and the league is actually shutting down games on Tuesday to encourage voting. Why do you think, in your opinion, it's actually necessary to do that?
I think from the black community, and obviously our league is predominantly black athletes, black players, black men. Our community, we talk and speak about change a lot. So in order to have change, we have to get out and actually put our mouths and put our hands and put our pens or pencils to the polls. And it can start in your community, and then it starts in the city, and then out to the state, and then all the way, out the country. We have an opportunity to be able to say that you've done your due diligence to try to help create change in your community. And we've been oppressed for so long. Obviously, I had the More Than a Vote initiative when we was in the bubble. I was very active with that, and our so many musicians and athletes and leaders was able to come on board with us. But we've been oppressed for so long. They've told us we couldn't vote. They told our women, our black women, they weren't allowed to vote for so many years, and but they continue to reprimand us or do things to us in our community that harm us and harm our family, and we sit here and wonder why and what's going on. So I think it's very important that you get educated about what's going on, who is your local people are that's going to be making decisions in your community, making decisions that could affect you, could affect your family, could affect your school districts and things of that nature. Because it's important. I know as black people, sometimes we don't believe that our vote counts. We don't believe that it matters. And I can just say black people because I just know my people. I can't speak for everybody. I just know how we are, but it does matter. And, and we saw a change when, we wanted to get someone out of office. So I hope people take it serious.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, LeBron, kind of to Dave's point, you have a platform built on sort of more than an athlete as its underlying premise. I'm curious, how have you seen the seriousness that people have taken that as they've waded into other waters? And I'm curious if you've evolved in sort of, when it comes to things like social media and stuff like that, in terms of, like, yes, this is something I want to talk about or address, and maybe this is something I don't want to talk about or address.
I think you guys have grown to know me over the last few years that I've been a part of this organization, and Dave has known me a little bit longer, trying to look around. Okay, that's it. I speak about things that kind of hit home for me. That comes from my heart, comes from my gut. Things that I believe in, things that I'm passionate about. Or some things that just hit me and I just know that it's just wrong. I definitely have, common sense, and I know the difference between right and wrong. And with more than an athlete, obviously it's gained legs that that I didn't even think that it was going to create, because I was literally talking about me and my situation and what I had going on with some lady on some station on television. So I was speaking for me, that I'm more than an athlete, and what I do and what I talk about and what I represent, not only just on the court, obviously, but off the floor as well. So I don't know. It kind of just it kind of all depends. Everyone's not going to agree with everything that you talk about. I've literally muted like 25, 35 people on my Twitter account over the last week because I've been sitting in bed, so I've been able to look at a lot of people just saying harmful things. So I've just been hitting the mute button on a lot of people. I've never done that. It's actually pretty fun. So I got like 2 more days to be in the bed before I become myself again. So if you got something harmful to say, you will be muted. I won't see it. It's just, I don't know. It's just if it feels right, and if my people are calling for me to sometimes say something because they need a voice and they need a platform, then I'm there for them. All right, appreciate it.
We'll be back. Russell Westbrook with a team high 26 in the loss. We'll be wrapping things up on the other side.